What's up, YouTube? Long time no see. We're on our way to go get the motor for the green truck. It's been at RCS Diesel in Ludlow, Mass for the last, I don't know, maybe 2 months or so. And Mike and the guys up there have been working their magic on it. We're going to be picking up the fully assembled short block, and then from there we'll be putting head studs and the heads and the fuel and the air and everything else back onto it. So basically it's factory block, factory rods and pistons, forged crank, alternate firing camshaft, and main studs. So pretty built bottom end, factory rotating assembly. Pistons and rods should be plenty for the power that motor is going to make. But yeah, so pretty exciting. We're going to get the motor back today, start reassembly, hopefully have the truck ready for May, and keep you guys posted. Well, I got the engine unloaded. I just got to get it up on the stand. I don't know if I ever fully went over this. I think I did at some point, but this, if we can get some focus here, that pin is what failed and ultimately kind of started this whole debacle. So this pin is for the balancer. This pin is for the reluctor wheel, hub, gear, whatever you want to call it. And basically this pin sheared, the gear spun, which put the reluctor wheel off axis, so to speak. And basically it made the computer think that the cam and the crank were out of phase. So it shut the truck down. Normally that would happen if like the crank snapped or I don't know what else, but basically the computer shut the truck down, not any sort of internal failure. So the good thing with that is it meant that there was no damage to the block. So this was basically just like a rebuild. No, you know, no damage internally. But in order to extract this, you got to pull the oil pans. And if you're going to pull the oil pans, you got to pull the motor, because I'm not fucking doing that in the chassis. And then you got to, you know, it's just a real cocksucker to get to, pretty much. So you pull the motor, you flip it, and then you either extract this and put another one of these wimpy little dowel pins in, or you pull the crank and you have it machined. And then if you have it machined, not every place does that. So by the time you pull the crank out, box it up, send it out somewhere to get done, bring it back, pay the freight, whatever, you're like halfway there to a forged crank. And Duramax store had a sale going on, crank, cam together, made sense at the time, a lot of money, but whatever, you know, this project is 5 years in the making at this point. So this got forged crank, ARP main studs, alternate firing cam, new main bearings, new cam bearings, pistons and rods taken apart, cleaned, reassembled with new parts, rings, hone. The whole block got needle scaled and cleaned up, so resealed. I mean, aside from the pistons and rods, this thing is like pretty much brand new. And there's probably some people who are going to watch this and be like, whoa, at that point, why wouldn't you do pistons and rods? Good question. Pistons and rods, I don't know, $4 or $5 grand more, but also, like, you know, these ones are going to be fine for the power that this thing is realistically going to make. You know, single turbo, the clutch is only good for 650. I think it's probably going to be like 450 daily driver, you know. And if I crack a piston, I guess we'll address that when the time comes. But anyway, so this thing's basically good to go. Just need to get a couple more parts ordered up for it. Game plan is to get Kyle over here, put the heads on, stud it, set the valve train, and from then it's easy stuff that, you know, I can do most of that myself afterwards. Gonna paint it this time. Should have done that last time. I got the trans and T case over here. Haven't decided if these are gonna get painted yet. Probably, I don't know. So lots of work, but can't say enough good about Mike and the guys at RCS. Just good work, quality work, quick turnaround. You know, we set a date, we stuck to it. Honestly, they would have been done probably 2 weeks ago, but they were waiting on me for parts, my fault. So can't say enough good things. Took good care of me. RCS Diesel, Ludlow, Mass. Go see Mike. So anyway, I'm gonna get this thing thrown up on the stand and see what happens after that. Okay, so we got all the masking tape done. Gonna be putting a coat of paint on the motor this time. Kind of regretted not doing it last time. So we're gonna use some Duplicolor self-etching and then follow that up with VHT engine metallic. It's kind of like a charcoal gray, a little bit darker. It's gonna be a little bit darker than the piping for the intercooler. But yeah, I don't know. Never painted a motor before, so just kind of making it up as I go along. I think I got everything masked off pretty good. So we'll see what it looks like with some paint on it. All right, all primed. Gonna let this set up for a little bit. Then we'll hit it with some color. Pretty good. Definitely not the cleanest block in the world, but again, for the truck it's going into, it'll be just fine. So, crazy how much difference a coat of paint makes. Stuff goes on real good, lays flat, kind of has a slight hammered finish to it, as well as the sparkle. So I think that's going to look real good. Let me grab one of the intercooler pipes. So the pipes are definitely lighter, but I think that's going to look real good together. So we'll let this set up overnight, come back tomorrow, throw another coat on it, and then probably let it sit for the week. I'll be away this week for work. That way everything can kind of settle in and harden up, and then next weekend Kyle and I can get started on putting everything back together on it. Continuing to work on the paint, so we got the lower valve covers in the same VHT engine enamel. And then for the upper valve covers, we went with Detroit Alpine Green. I had a can of this kicking around and, you know, thought it'd be kind of cool to pay a little tribute to Detroit, seeing as the green truck obviously was originally Detroit powered. Whether or not the 6.5 qualifies as a real Detroit, I don't know. But anyway, so just got about 3 coats on the motor now, and it's pretty much all set. Just gonna let the valve covers dry this week while I'm away, and then next weekend Kyle and I will get in here and hopefully get the heads on this thing and make some serious progress. So that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully this is the first of many videos to come in rapid order here, now that this thing is back and we can get working on it, because this thing has been sitting dormant for far too long. So we got our work cut out for us. But anyway, we'll see you guys in the next one.